to enter the webinar. All right, I think we will get started. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Live at Sewanee webinar. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us for this webinar. My name is Nikki Campbell, and I am the Vice President for Student Life and Dean of Students. I am a proud graduate of Sewanee, and I'm originally from Johannesburg, South Africa. I look forward to welcoming you to campus in the fall, and I especially look forward to being your dean. As a graduate of this institution, I have a deep affection for this place and had a wonderful experience here. And I look forward to working with my colleagues across campus to ensure you have a meaningful experience during your 4 years with us. So we have four main goals for this session today. One, introduce what it's like for students to live on campus, and then two, to introduce you to some of my amazing colleagues across campus who are in key roles for students to seek support, navigating and adjusting living independently. And then three, to review campus safety resources and recommendations, including parking and biking on campus. And just so you know, Sewanee is a walking, biking campus, but you can bring your cars, and you'll hear more about that later. And then four, to describe our dining options for students, including dietary restrictions. So just a few little housekeeping notes. At any time during this session, if you have any questions, please add them in the Q&A or chat function, and my colleagues and I will answer them as we go. So to start us off today, we have our residential life team, and representing that team is our Assistant Dean of Students for Residential Life, Alicia Cooper, and one of our amazing proctors, which are RAs, Annabelle Epps. So I'll hand it over now to Alicia and Annabelle.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. We're super excited to be talking with y'all today. So just give us a quick second and we'll share our screen and we'll jump into the program. Awesome. And so today we get a chance to talk to you all just a little bit about residential life. We won't have enough time to run through everything, but we will get to start off with that. And so first, I'll let Annabelle introduce herself and tell you a little bit about herself.
Hi, I'm Annabelle. I'm one of the proctors. I'm going into my second year of proctoring, and I'm super excited about it. I am a rising junior here at Sewanee, and I'm double majoring in English and rhetoric.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And so just to jump on in, let's talk about the residential halls and where you all will be staying. Here you see listed is where our first year students will be residing this year, coming this August when you all arrive here on campus. On campus, you get a lot of good resources, and being on campus and being close to your classrooms where you live at is a great way to easily transition it into the college life. We want you all to know that there is information online. Last week you should have received your housing assignment for August. So when you get in, and so if you go online, you will be able to actually see where the residential halls are located on campus and some of the basic functions that comes with each room. If not each room, each building, so you can see what's in the common area and things like that. With that being said, also, we want you to be able to go view our website and see some of the items that you should bring or what you probably should not bring. So air fryers are currently not on our list, but we're hoping that we can hopefully get those on our list soon. It right now is just a fire safety concern. So just making sure that you review that and knowing what to bring, or you can talk to your roommate about that before arriving. And if you all can be able to share some things instead of using all those things and or bringing two of everything, right? And then you'll also be able to find the residential life policies. Do you have any information you might share about the residential halls in your experience?
Yeah, so I grew up with a super huge family and lots of people all around at all times. And so I was a little worried coming to Sewanee about how, what my support system would look like and kind of filling that void of my family. And Sewanee's got a super huge commitment to community and just fostering community among all students. And I think that the residential halls and the community living are the first step in kind of building that community. I look back to my freshman year all the time fondly because I just had the best experience ever. I'm still best friends with the girls across the hall from me. Last week I was playing football with some of the guys who lived on the floor above. So I can't say enough good things about our community living. Obviously, I'm a proctor, so I'm a little biased, but I think it's great.
Yes. And one of those major things that I also want to point out and remind you all to bring is XL twin sheets. Now you can bring normal twin sheets, but we don't want those to pop off while you're going through your orientation. And so make sure you get those extra long twin sheets for your bed when you come here to campus. So next, we actually are going to talk about the proctors, and so we got Annabelle here to talk about how proctors are a great resource to us on campus, and kind of just give a little bit about her experience.
Yeah, so proctors are excellent resources in just many different fields. Some of my residents might say I'm the most helpful because, I was able to put in work orders for like a clogged toilet. But personally, I think one of our best kind of attributes on campus is our ability to kind of be a guiding force for incoming students, especially freshmen, because it's such a big transition for you guys. My freshman year proctors were a huge reason why I applied to the program. The proctor down the hall from me, we're still super close. I text her all the time. She helped me through a lot my freshman year, and I just remember how lucky and happy I was to have made that connection. So yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to join the program and kind of give back in any way possible. The most meaningful or like the best experiences I've had as proctors are just like, finding myself chatting in the halls with my residents. I remember it was like final season last fall. I was like stuck in the bathroom talking to one of my residents for like an hour because we were just both super stressed about finals. And it was just so rewarding for both of us to be able to kind of like, work through our struggles, talk about like, the stresses of school and how, college is kind of just, such a big thing to take on. So I strongly suggest getting to know your proctors and reaching out to them in any way you can. And they want to reach out to you as well. They want to get to know you. So definitely take advantage of them and their knowledge on campus.
Yeah. And when it comes to that, you actually talked about talking through like exams and things like that. And proctors are great resources, and they know a lot of other resources that are available on campus. So being able to direct you in the way that you should go, even if they don't know the answer, they're able to research and get those answers back to you and be that peer that you really need in the halls to be a leader and a helper. So being able to say, hey, they have tutoring for chemistry. You should go on Wednesdays, right? And telling you where that is, and then helping you when it comes to just knowing the policies when it comes to residential life and living in the halls, and being able to also disconnect and build community with students. Um, Even if you're having a hard time with your roommate, mediating those situations and even helping you get into community with other people who might be in your same hall or in another hall, just where you can find your place here in Sewanee, because a lot of people have found their belonging here. And definitely, like Dean Campbell said, we're here for you for your 4 years here, right? And we want this to be your home and build that community. And so your process is one of the great ways to be able to do that. Being able to also talk about other resources. We also want to share our professional staff for residential life with you all. So you have myself, who is Alicia Cooper, the Assistant Dean of Residential Life. Miss Becca Yates is our operations coordinator and admin assistant. And so what Becca would help you with a lot of times, if you email our res life at sewanee.edu. Becca is going to be one of the main people that will respond. She does a lot of work with our housing system, which is called StarRes, that I'm pretty sure you already been on. Definitely, if you already have your housing assignment, that means you have completed your contract and your application. And then being able to help point you into other resources on campus as well. Becca is a good resource for that. And then you have Nick and Allie, who are also area coordinators. Area coordinators work directly with our student leaders, which are our proctors. which we should have said. Proctors are known a lot of times also as resident assistants or RAs. So you might hear that term from other institutions, but we call them proctors here. Allie and Nick work directly with our proctors and being able to assist students in the hall. So checking up on them, being an extra resource to make sure people find their belonging, and being able to bring community together just as much as our proctors do. And they're just a professional that just gets to do it a little longer and for 40 hours a week plus some. It's never just 40 hours when it comes to the residential lifestyle. And so really being able to help and navigate the college life. How has that been working with the area coordinators and how have they helped some of your residents?
Yeah, so the area coordinators, both Nick and Allie, are awesome. I worked with Allie last year, so I have a special place in my heart for her. She's amazing. But Nick's awesome too. They're really the backbone of the residential community, honestly. If there's a question that your proctor doesn't know the answer to, the first person they're going to call are their area coordinators. So they're super crucial to kind of, ensuring safety and just a smooth living environment for everybody. I highly suggest if you see them out and about, introduce yourself. They're super, good resource to have on campus. And they really are there for the students and they want to help you guys as much as possible.
Yes. And so as I mentioned last week, in July the 9th to be exact, we sent out an email and that email had a lot of information in there. And one of the parts of the information that was on that email was your housing assignment and how you can go on to StarRez and find your roommate. With that being said, some students were actually able to choose their roommate this time around, and then some students actually went through random roommates and using the roommate matching. And so kind of how we do roommate matching, if you went through that process, where we ask you questions on your housing applications just to get to know a little bit more about you and your lifestyle and what you will probably prefer for studying, and those habits along there. And so with that, we try to pair you with someone who is similar but still has some differences, because that's the best part about college. I know when I was in undergrad, one of the best things is I didn't live with anyone that had the exact same ideas or thoughts that I did. And I made a great friend of that out of that. I'm still in contact with my roommate from undergrad. And so this is one of the techniques as which we combine people together to let them know, like, hey, you're going to be roommates. And so one thing with that we really want you to do is reflect on the answers that you gave and then being able to reach out to your roommate, even if you chose that roommate, reaching out to them and start discussing what does it look like coming together and living together come August. Definitely coordinating what you want to bring. Like I mentioned earlier, not bringing two microwaves if you don't have to, right? Bringing one refrigerator, but each person brings a 12 pack of Coke because that is just the common drink that you both like, right? So starting those conversations earlier where you can maximize the space that's in your room, and then get to know each other. And so it's not as weird when you meet each other for the first time when you arrive here at Sewanee. So like I mentioned, those were released last week in the email. And so we really hope that you all have got on and already started those conversations. But Annabelle, how does that look when it comes to residents, either for yourself or for other people as a proctor?
Yeah, so back in my day, you couldn't even choose your freshman roommate, so this is kind of a whole new thing for me. But yeah, I remember me and my freshman roommate, we definitely weren't, very different people, but there's a big learning curve coming from living alone, or maybe just with siblings or like your family to living with, your friends or even strangers. So I think it's okay to accept that, like, no matter what happens, you're probably going to get into some sort of little spat with your roommate. Like, that's just unavoidable, unfortunately. But it doesn't have to be a bad thing. I lived with like my best friend last year, and every once in a while I'd be like, Rachel, turn down the TV, or it happens. It's really okay. And so I think kind of figuring out how to navigate these relationships and dynamics, that's really where your proctors can come in. Last semester I had a call at like 1 in the morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, someone's like bleeding out. But no, it was just two of my residents were fighting over the lights, and it was heated in the moment, but we were able to kind of navigate things and kind of make sure that the argument didn't escalate and that things were kind of cooled down. Because at the end of the day, it's just a little spat over turning off the lights. And these two roommates were able to live for the rest of the year together with no further issues. I was never called at 1 in the morning again. So I think it's good to remember that things happen, things come up, but if you're ever in a situation where you feel like things are getting heated or you're getting a little too, emotionally invested into things, just call your proctor, call somebody who can kind of be the middleman and make sure things don't boil over.
Yeah. One of the great tools that proctors get to use also is the roommate agreement. So helping students work through those common things that we see can sometimes be concerns between students and being able to say, hey, let's talk about these things ahead of time. Are you okay if I drink the last Coke of our 24 that I put in the fridge? Or would you prefer that we label them and you don't drink the last one if it doesn't have your name on it? So being able to actually help you guide and think about some of the things that might not think of ahead of time, but our proctors are great resources in that because we want you to enjoy where you live at here on campus. So I think we have this last slide. And so this last slide right here, we just want you all to know the important dates. And so we have students moving in for the FYE, so first year experience program in the pre-program on Thursday, August the 21st, between 8:30 and 1:30. New students who are not a part of that program will arrive on Saturday the 23rd. Now, if you are an international student or an athlete, we did not forget about you. You will still be arriving, but you will receive more information because you might not be arriving on the 21st or the 23rd. If you are arriving on the 21st or the 23rd, please make sure you check out that email from July the 9th, and it explains how you should go in and select a move-in time slot. That time slot will be selected for 30 minutes, but that's only to pick up your key. We don't want you to move everything in 30 minutes. We want you to actually be able to use our movers and have the supportive move in. But being at the Bishop Commons in that 30 minutes will get you your key and then get you off to your residential hall. So just make sure that you do come to the Bishop Commons first, pick up that key, check in with us, make sure you're cleared and good to go. And then we'll have some people there on the 21st and the 23rd that'll help you move your items in. So parents, or tell your parents, hey, you don't have to help me lift the box. We're going to have people that's going to help me that day. I know that was something that I enjoyed when I was in undergrad and being able to help the first year students move in. And so we're glad to bring that back to Sewanee and have people help students move in and lift the load and just help you say like, hey, we're going to move you. And you go ahead and just start unpacking and making this home your home away from home. Um, with that being said, I know we only got a couple more minutes in our session, but do you have any additional advice for our first year students, definitely as a student or a proctor?
No, just get so excited. It's gonna be so awesome.
Yes. Well, hey, we are super excited and we can't wait for you all to get back on campus and well, not get back on campus, but arrive to campus. But sooner or later we will be saying get back to campus because we can't wait for you to complete your 4 years here. And if you have any questions, we'll be glad to answer them at the end about residential life. So thank y'all, and we're gonna give it back to you, Nikki.
Okay. Thank you, Dean Cooper, and thank you, Annabelle. That was great. And speaking about home away from home, um, our next session is about our Sewanee Dining Hall, and I know you all have been to campus, and I will say, I know I'm biased, but we have one of the most beautiful dining rooms on campus, and we have one of the best dining services on campus. And with us today to talk about our dining hall options as Associate Director of Sewanee Dining, Caroline Thompson. So Caroline, thanks for being here, and please take it away.
Thanks, Nikki. Hi, y'all. Welcome. I'm Caroline. You'll see me walking around campus. I hope that you'll introduce yourself and make yourself at home and ask us some questions. We are really proud of our dining program at Sewanee. So we're pretty different because we're not a big contract company. It's just we're all university employees. And so we are here just to serve you. Thankfully, our community and faculty and staff come in and eat at McClurg too, and we love having them. But you guys are the focus of our program, and it's how we make decisions, and we try to have like options that you enjoy. So when you come to Sewanee, there's no you don't have to make any choices about meal programs or anything like that. We have one meal program. It's an unlimited all you care to eat. So that means that you can come into McClurg from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. As many times a day as you would like, and eat as much as you like. So you can come in and just like fill your water bottle up. You can have a coffee mug, fill that up, and head out to class. You can sit down and have a meal. You can sit down and have multiple meals, that sort of thing. So no one is ever very hungry. We hope. So McClurg has a lot of options in there. So I would suggest my like first suggestion to anyone dining in McClurg is like to take a lap around and kind of check out all the stations and see what you see first before committing to a plate. You can mix and match at different stations and things like that. But we have a home style line, which tends to be kind of more traditional fare. Usually two kinds of meat proteins, a starch, and two veggies. We try to keep one on the simpler end um, for those who don't like a lot of extra spice or cream or whatever. We have a big pasta station. It has like nut-free pesto and marinara, Alfredo, and then there's some kind of composed dish too. We have a grill with burgers and hot dogs and black bean burgers. Things like that. We have some specials that run over there, French fries. We have a pizza station. We have a deli where you can have your make your own sandwich, and you can take it with you if you'd like. We have a huge salad bar, lots of fresh ingredients. We have an awesome vegan station. That's one of the favorites of the students. There's just a lot of options. With like components that you can build together. So there's always white rice in a rice cooker over there, lots of toppings and things like that. We also have a big spice station, so you can like with hot sauces and spice mixes, so you can mix and match and decide what spice things up. Let's see, I see a question coming in about the produce. So we have some static items, like there's always like black beans and artichokes and bell peppers and things like that. And then we kind of there's a turnover of sort of keeping things exciting about like a pasta salad composed, that sort of thing. But we would love to have any suggestions. So we have at all the napkin holders, but also on our website, you can submit feedback and anything that goes to the dining services at sewanee.edu email, receive and I dole out the questions to our wonderful staff, my colleagues, depending on what the question is. And so if there's something that you really want arugula this week, we try our best to get that in there. So it's really a back and forth with what you guys want to see. Some things are feasible, some things aren't. Like we're not going to have filet mignon every night, but we try to have some steak options at least once a week, something like that. The other station I want to talk about a little bit is our allergen-free line. So our allergen-free line is free of the big nine, and it's a great option if you are needing to avoid a certain item or ingredient. But everybody eats over there too. We keep things pretty simple over there. And if you have a allergy or a dietary need like celiac disease or diabetes or something like that, I really highly, highly encourage you to sign up with our with the student accessibility office in student life. Diane over there is wonderful, and we work together to create like a safe plan. So we go to pretty extreme measures and to keep our students safe. We had an airborne cinnamon allergy a few years ago. She was here all 4 years, and when we served cinnamon, we packed up food for her and communicated with her, and she would come to the back door and pick it up. That's like the extreme measure. Most of the time, we can work out things where it's just like a normal you're participating in normal activities in the dining hall and coming in because McClurg is a social space. So we really try to make it work in there. Um, let me share my screen and I will show you our website. So this is a great place to start if you have any questions. Like allergies, we have a great section of kind of how we define certain ingredients and where they are. And then if you'll see right here, this is where you can sign up to um, have a dining accommodation. Then let's see. Oops, it opened a new window. Um, Other things that you can look at. You can always see our hours of operation for all of our locations, and then our menus. So if you are trying to decide whether you're going to get breakfast at maybe our coffee house at Sterling's or at McClurg, you can look and see. We update them a few hours before each meal, and you can see what's available. So, like if you really wanted hash brown casserole, you're gonna wait and go get a bagel at Sterling's or something like that. Then you can take a look. We also put all the dietary restrictions on these items. But you can see breakfast, lunch, dinner. We're really going patriotic these days. Um, our staff have a good time. On Saturdays and Sundays, we have brunch. So we serve breakfast through lunch and usually add a kind of a fun like cinnamon roll, casserole, that sort of thing. Um, always, always nice. The nice thing is you can really, and I'd be interested to hear later Annabelle's McClurg hacks, but it's really fun to ask upperclassmen what their McClurg hacks are. Like obviously you're gonna eat a lot of meals in McClurg and like anywhere you eat is gonna be you're gonna get tired of. But there are things that you can like kind of mix and match. Like I really like Spindrift, like that's the juice and soda water. And you can like use the juice machine and then there's one Coke machine that has a bubbly water, which is great. I think it's very refreshing. Or like people, I've heard students say they like get fries and then if we have chili in soups, they will add chili, but they can add cheese. You can add cheese and melt it in the microwave, and you can have like chili cheese fries or just cheese fries, stuff like that. You can we have a bunch of cereals, and you can go down and mix and match and things like that. So there are lots of options to kind of help alleviate, just eating the same old thing. And you'll learn more as you spend more time here, and you'll see other people and their inventions. But we try to do some monotony breakers too. So also I'll point out here, so we run 4 other locations on campus. So Sterling's is our coffee house. It's open from like 7:30 a.m. till either 10 or 11 p.m. It's a great space to hang out. The porch is awesome. We just put in a big, beautiful pavilion in the back in honor of a former professor. Cup and Gown is in the library. It's a great place to grab either coffee or some sort of canned energy drink or something like that, and a snack. Great sandwiches. And then Beale Commons Cafe it's across the street from All Saints in our new Beale Commons, our student commons. And there's board games and all kinds of fun, like pool table in there. But we serve boba and build your own bowls. So you can like go burrito bowl or poke bowl. There's a lot of options there. And at Sterling's and Beale, you can order online. We use this program called Get. And so if you download the app, you'll be able to use your flex money. So in addition to the like unlimited dining at McClurg, you get $175 each semester to use at any of our locations. And then there's also other locations in town, like the Sewanee Market, lunch, Shenanigans, Blue Chair, that you can use that at. You can also have your parents add more money, which you can see it's called domain dollars when they do that. And so they just need your banner number, which you probably already have, and you can get them to add them here if or your loved ones. Um, the other thing I wanted to mention on the website was if you get sick and you just aren't feeling well, it's probably not the best thing if you're like have the flu to come into McClurg or something like that. So we have a sick meal request form, so you can fill this out. It's just basic information. And then you can go to the front desk at McClurg and they will give you a box to fill up. They You can either come yourself or you can send a friend, or maybe this would be a great thing if you don't have anyone available at that time, like reaching out to your proctor to see if that's something that they could be able to do, or they know anyone that's around that might be able to do that for you. But that way we have like soup cups and stuff like that, so you can get some soup, or we definitely want you to get something in your stomach. So anyway, there's a lot of information on the website, but we're also just like I'm happy to field any questions you have. Like I said, stop me on the sidewalk. I have a office in the library actually, but I'm walking back and forth all the time. And you can see under the dining team, all of my wonderful colleagues. We're here to help you, and we like hearing from you. So please, we're excited for you to be on campus. Anyway, thanks, you guys. I'll be on if you have any more questions, and I'll turn it back over to Nikki.
Yeah, thank you, Caroline. That was great. And we'll now move on to reviewing campus safety resources and recommendations for parking and biking on campus. As I mentioned, we are walking, biking campus, and we're so excited to have our Chief of Police, Jeremy Thomas, with us today. And just so you know, Sewanee faculty, staff, and students, we always enjoy a very amicable and close relationship with our police team, and so we're really excited to have Chief Thomas with us. So Chief Thomas, I will turn it over to you.
Hey everyone, my name's Jeremy. I'm the Chief of Police for Sewanee Police Department. I'm over safety and parking, and we encourage you to look over the parking policy so that you're aware of how we expect you to park. Also, I encourage you to get our Live Safe app. It's a good resource for if there's something that you think that we need to know and you don't really want to call in, you can get on there and report tips. You can upload videos or pictures. There's a safety map on there that will you can see where you are on campus until you get familiar with the campus. There's also a safe walk. It allows us to walk you to your destination and know where you are at all times. You're also welcome to call dispatch. We have dispatch 24/7, along with two full-time police officers that are here 24/7. If you see one of these officers, like Dean Campbell was saying, walk up and say hi. We want to get to know you, and everybody be a familiar face. There's posted speed limits on campus. Please abide by those. If you're walking, be sure if you use headphones, maybe don't use both headphones at the same time so that you can hear vehicles. Don't be distracted by your phone when you're walking across the crosswalk. I've been here for 10 years and I've seen it so many times that, somebody gets busy with their day. They're looking at their phone, maybe in between classes, you're calling a parent or something and you're distracted and walk right out in front of a vehicle. And, uh, it's just close calls that maybe we can avoid some of those. Uh, Lighting on campus. We do have a few darker spots on campus. If you see those, that's a good thing to let us know. We get those tips and we work with maintenance department and try to get those corrected. We have replaced a lot of lighting and added a lot of lighting. For the most part, most of the main part of the campus is pretty well lit, from your parking area to wherever your dorm may be, if you're walking from class to class or the library. But any concerns like that, be sure to call and let us know. The number, the non-emergency number to call is 931-598-1111. And like I said, we got a dispatcher that'll answer all your questions. If she don't have an answer for you, or he don't have an answer for you right then, they'll get back with you as soon as they find it. Most of the time, they call me. But anything like that, we would love to hear your input on anything that's a concern to you. If you was to see that, hopefully we've corrected most of that. Another big concern for me is I walk around to the dorms and the academic buildings, and I'll find that someone has propped open a door with a rock or a small rock like a gravel or something like that. Please don't do that. Make sure that you take your identification card with you and you're scanning in and out of those buildings, because it's so easy for somebody that that don't need to be in that building. We don't have that happen, but things can happen anywhere, and we're pretty close to the interstate. And if somebody's not supposed to be in your building, then don't give them access to your building. Don't give them way in. I think that's pretty much it for me, unless y'all have questions for me.
Yeah, Chief, sorry. Do you want to talk about how parking works? Yeah.
Well, you'll get an email from ResLife with instructions on how to register, and then that's, for the most part, that's a first come first serve. So paying attention to that email as soon as you get it is definitely going to be a plus for you. The parking policy, please take a look at the parking policy so you know how you're expected to park, and the areas that you shouldn't park in, whether it be loading zones, fire zones, that sort of thing. Don't park in the bike lane. The whole side of the University Avenue on the All Saints Chapel and McClurg side, from one end to the other, is no parking. And then the other side, there's marked spots where there's no parking, and unless there's a special event, and it'll be marked such to let you know that. I advise you to walk to class. We don't have a drive from class to class campus. It's a walking, biking campus. It's a beautiful campus. You'll miss it if you're driving all the time. Again, if you see any of us out, be sure to come up and introduce yourself, and we'd love to get to know you better.
Thank you, Chief. That was very helpful. And again, all of this information can be found on our website. And now, last but not least, we have one more session to do. And I'd like to say Sewanee takes a holistic approach to the well-being of our students. And here to talk to us more about that is Lee Collins, who's our Executive Director of the Wellness Commons, as well as the Director of Counseling and Psychological Services. Lee, thanks so much for being with us today. And oh, and I see Anna too. Hi, Anna. Thank you. And take it away, Lee.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Hi, welcome everybody. We are so excited to have you here, to welcome you to campus. You've made a great decision to come to Sewanee. I am the Executive Director of Wellness here, and the Director of the Counseling Center, and I'm also a Sewanee mom. My daughter Isabel graduated last year. Look forward to meeting all of you. So I'm going to talk about the Wellness Commons today. We're located on Central Campus, right next to McClurg, the dining hall. So who are we? We call ourselves Sewanee's Home for Student Wellbeing. We're made up of University Health Services. We call that UHS. Counseling and Psychological Services. We call that CAPS. And Fitwell, which is a GEM. University Health Services is basically an urgent care. It's a primary health center that gives health care for illnesses and injuries to students. One thing you need to know about UHS is we do bill insurance. So when you come in for your first appointment, you should bring in well, actually, when you come in for every appointment, you should bring in your insurance card. And you can always come in and let us know if you have any questions about that. We also have options for self-pay if that works better for you. Some of the things that we do, we evaluate and treat many illnesses and injuries. If we can't treat it because we're a small facility, we have a long list of specialists that we can refer you to. We do health education and outreach. We can do your physicals for travel and study abroad. We do contraceptive management. We do immunizations and travel vaccinations. We have a dispensary on campus. So if you come in and see one of our nurse practitioners, they can write a prescription, and many of those prescriptions can be filled right there immediately on campus. Otherwise, we send things out to the local pharmacies. And then, as I said before, we refer out to specialized care. Counseling and Psychological Services, or CAPS, provides individual and group mental health counseling. We also provide biofeedback and outreach. We have special programs like the Mind Body Lab, which teaches you to control your physiological or body response to stress, and that has a lot of benefits for your mental and physical health. We have a nature therapy program, so you can actually do your counseling sessions on our hiking trails here at Sewanee, if that interests you. Some of the typical issues that our students come to therapy for include most of it is struggles with life transitions. It's hard to transition to school. College is a great experience, but it's not always easy. Stress management, and also mental health diagnoses like anxiety, depression, and OCD and other disorders. We don't charge in caps for our services, so you will not need to use your insurance for that. We also don't have a session limit. You and your therapist will work that out. We also provide referrals for psychiatric evaluation and medication. CAPS does not have a psychiatrist on the staff, but UHS, which we're integrated with, has a nurse practitioner who prescribes medications for mental health diagnoses. So typically it's just a referral to UHS, but we do have psychiatry referrals in the community. So Fitwell is our gem. If you're an athlete, you may have already heard of Fowler, which is the larger gem. Fitwell is slightly smaller, and it's a gym that's inclusive of all fitness levels and body types. What we're known for is our group exercise classes. We have workout equipment, cardio room, a strength room, a spin room, and we also have many fitness classes just about every day of the week. Fitwell is free for Sewanee students, and it's open for community members as well for a small fee. So you may be working out with some of your professors, some staff members you know well, and that actually is a lot of fun for us and usually for the students as well. Our classes are taught either by community instructors or by student instructors. So if you're interested in eventually becoming an instructor, please come by and talk to us, and we can talk to you about what you would need to do to get trained. Some of the classes that we offer are spin, yoga, bar, Pilates, and strength training. We're always open to new suggestions, though. We do a lot of outreach programming, and you are welcome to request an outreach program if you're part of an organization or you have a group of friends that's interested in doing that. Some of our outreach programming is suicide prevention. We often do that with Greek organizations. We do mindfulness hikes. You can see in the photograph a picture of one of those. We do substance abuse prevention, sexual health and breast cancer education, neurodiversity education, group fitness classes, and a figuring out fitness presentation where we teach students how to use the gym equipment. We offer CPR to anyone on campus who wants it. We have special presentations for international students. We do a program called Lunch and Learn where we feed you, and we have a panel of, it's usually students, faculty, and staff who are talking about issues that are interesting and topical for students. And then we have a program called Let's Talk, where we go to organizations such as our theme houses or our Greek organizations and present on what basically we have a discussion. It's usually a question and answer thing that's very interactive and participatory. That is basically on any topic that's related to wellness that you might be interested in. These are some of our many events that we've done in the past year. If you follow us on Sewanee Wellness on Instagram, you can keep up with what's going on while you're here on campus. And we invite you to contact us anytime if you have any questions or if you just want to come by to introduce yourself. And this is our contact information. Don't forget to follow us on Sewanee on Instagram, and we look forward to welcoming you on campus soon.
Thank you, Lee. That was very helpful. And while I have you, Anya, and I'll just ask the panelists now to just all come back on the screen and we can do a Q&A. And to begin that Q&A, I'll just start with you, Lee. There's a question in the chat on how do we get prescription medication on campus? How do students get prescription medication on campus?
That's a great question. A lot of students just have it sent to them. In fact, you can order many medications on Amazon today. But if you don't want to do that, come into to UHS, our health center, meet with one of our nurse practitioners, and they can write you a prescription. They can also refill prescriptions that your provider back home has prescribed to you.
Thank you. And before I ask our next question, I did want to introduce my colleague Carter Brown, who's been here helping us with the tech. But Carter is also the Assistant Director for Student Engagement and works with our Greek Life program as well. So thank you, Carter, for your help. And then the next question, and feel free to answer this, but maybe we'll ask Annabelle to go first. But what's your favorite thing to eat at McClurg?
So for as far as clerk hacks go, I'm really proud of this one. Me and my friend found out how to make buffalo chicken dip. And it's super useful when it's like 3 o'clock and the homestyle line isn't open for dinner and like there's not as much to work with. So that's probably one of my favorites. As far as like what we
Wait,
get.
you have to give us specifics.
No, don't worry. I was gonna have the recipe. It was gonna be shared.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you grab some chicken from the grill line, and then you grab some cream cheese, and then ranch and cheddar cheese, and I usually put like the garlic salt in there. What else? And then you put the Frank's Red Hot sauce. You go to the microwave, and you got to spend like 5 minutes like microwaving and stirring, so it's kind of like it makes a little bit of a
That's
steam.
awesome, Annabelle.
But it's so good. It's so good. So that's that. And then as far as like what we get routinely, I love it whenever we do like Southern cooking. I love when we have like fried okra or like anything like that. Just reminds me of where I'm from. Reminds me of home. So yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Please stay at the microwave, or else we'll have to get our chief of fire chief on the call.
Right.
I would say I love the orange chicken, so it's
Okay.
just
Fridays.
the best.
You are not
ever.
alone.
Yes,
You are not
yes,
alone.
yes.
It's one of the favorites.
And the ice cream. So But yeah, anybody else, feel free to jump in.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna say fried chicken. And if not there, just the salad bar, honestly. And Taco Tuesdays. And definitely when we have the tortilla chips, Taco Tuesdays, I'm making some nachos. And so I definitely enjoy that for sure.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
go with the day. Thanksgiving dinner
Oh yeah.
is
Yeah.
fantastic, and it's such a great community-oriented event. The food is fantastic. That's my favorite day.
Clearsgiving is great.
Yeah. Good one, Carter. And you get to carve your little turkey. So that's a great one, Carter. Thanks.
I
Chief,
want to
what are
shout
you
out
eating at
the
McClug? Oh, sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah, I want to shout out the Beal Bowls. Those are, you will have to use your domain dollars for those, but it's right across the street from us. So we go over all the time, and you can pretty much tell them anything that you want to put on the bowl. They're packed and they're delicious and they're healthy.
Very
Great.
good.
Chief,
Mine's probably going to be the orange chicken and the salad bar.
yeah,
Yes.
I'll be fighting you in the line for that.
All right.
So we have one last question here. Is guava juice back at
Ooh, that's a
Plug?
good question. We just
Oh,
got a new juice supplier, and I feel like it might be passion fruit, but it's a similar vein. But write into the feedback form if you're real passionate about that, and we'll try to get it back if we can. So,
Yeah,
because that is a
guava's
good.
my favorite as well.
Oh, yeah,
okay. The pressure's on, Caroline. Get it
I
back.
know. Cool.
Well, I think that was our last question, and we have a few minutes, so if anybody on the panel has some last minute advice, things you want to add, maybe you forgot to say something, please go ahead now. Maybe not.
Add something.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to kind of piggyback on what Alicia said earlier. She mentioned that sometimes you have a roommate who's very different from you, but that's a great learning experience. And I think we grow by getting to know people who are different from us. So I want to encourage you to just jump in and try everything. So if you've never tried any outdoor activities, go to the Sewanee outing program or SOP and try one of the hikes or the canoe trips or something like that. If you are interested in, so there's an interfaith house. Let's say that you don't think that's your thing. Why not just try it and see if it is your thing? You'll probably meet some great people everywhere you go. And I'm a big fan of our theme houses on campus. We have several of them. The Interfaith House, the Craft House, the Greenhouse, which is an environmental house. They have events that are open to everyone. Go try them. Take a friend or go by yourself. Don't be shy. We're often at those events, and I can tell you that they love it when new students come. So just jump in and try everything, and don't forget to study.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely, even if you're shy and you're just like, I don't know who to take a proctor. Yeah, literally take your proctor. I know that's one of the ways when I was in undergrad and I've seen it throughout my career is getting involved is taking the proctor with me. They're your free, forceful but not forceful friends. So you don't even have to work too hard for that relationship. They're already there. So definitely take your proctor or even come find some of us in residential life. We go to different things and we're not just in the office. I say that I'm an educator for outside of the classroom. And so with that, I have to be outside of my office as well. So come find us, say, hey, I want you to support me in something that I'm doing, or just ask me how I can get involved. And I'll be glad to go with you as well. And for myself, I just bring an extra friend. So it's a party of three instead of two. So I bring my son with us. And so you can definitely drag us around campus because we enjoy it. And Jace makes a party everywhere he goes. So please just get involved and make those friends in that community. Because that's the best part about college. And your 4 years are going to go by faster than you think. And I am a witness to that for sure.
Thanks, Alicia. And yes, Trace is a cutie. Lee, we have another question for you, actually. Is there a therapist on campus for weekly sessions?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. We have several therapists on campus. We don't usually offer weekly sessions because of demand. It really depends on the issue, though. If needed, we can offer them. We usually do that if someone is in a little bit of a crisis. Otherwise, we have bi-weekly sessions. So you would come in every other week to meet with a therapist. And again, as I said before, all of that is free. So all of our therapy at Sewanee is free. Um, Sometimes students who want more frequent sessions do a couple of different things. They may go every other week to their individual therapist, and then they may do a group as well. Our group, we have groups every semester, and two that are standing groups that we always have are dialectical behavioral therapy, which is often called DBT. I think all college students should take DBT. It's more of a skills-based group rather than a processing group where you would talk a lot about your feelings. You learn skills that you'll be able to use for the rest of your life about how to get along with people, how to resolve conflicts. It's really a wonderful group. And we also do a grief group every semester. So some people do individual therapy and a group, or some people do individual therapy and mind body lab. Mind body lab is particularly good for people with anxiety disorders, and it's also good for disorders like obsessive compulsive disorder and depression. And in that, we actually connect you to a biofeedback device which measures your heart rate, and you're taught meditations that teach you how to control your heart rate, which helps with your mood, which helps with your stress, and also helps with physical symptoms that you might be having. So sometimes people would do Mind Body Lab weekly and again see their therapist every other week. Again, all of these services are free, and if you have any questions about them, we're always happy to answer them. You can make your first therapy appointment online. So when you get to campus, if you want to get started right away, go to our website and you can just sign up for what we call a triage appointment, where we'll get to know you, get to know what your issues are that you want to work on, and then we find the right fit for you. You can do that online. Otherwise, you can come in to schedule appointments or give us a call.
Thank you, Lee. And I don't see any other questions. And so, Carter, did I miss any?
No, I don't think so. I'll give one anecdote on the student involvement
Yeah,
vein.
thank
Just
you.
I work in student involvement, so just to expand on what everyone else was saying, we have over 80 recognized student organizations, so ranging from the chess club to club sports to one of the longest standing student newspapers on any college campus in the country. So just a really, really diverse range of activities for y'all to get involved in. And if there isn't a club that you're interested in, you can start one. So just keep that in mind. When you are thinking about college, and we're so excited to welcome you in just a couple months.
Thank you, Carter. Yes, that was very helpful. And I just want to thank all our panelists, Lee, Chief Thomas, Alicia, and Annabelle, and Caroline, and Carter. Thank you so much for your time. And as Chief Thomas said, if when you get to campus and you see us around, please approach us and say hello. Yes, you may come by the Dean of Students office. I would love to see you and just chat and get to know you better. And we'll look forward to seeing you in August. And if you have any other questions, please visit our website. And we have all the various offices' emails and phone numbers there. So please feel free to reach out. So we have 2 minutes left. So I'll let you have your 2 minutes back. And thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And we look forward to seeing you in August. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank y'all.